We're going to look at how to find an angle in a right triangle using a trigonometric ratio. So for this first one here, we are looking for the measure of angle M. So here's angle M. You're going to use that like it's your reference angle. And I'm just going to use the variable of x there. You have two sides given to you in the picture here. You have the 15 and the 7. And so you need to think of which trig ratio will relate these two sides. So remember, some old horse caught another horse, taking oats away. In relation to angle M, the 15 is the opposite side, and the 7 is the adjacent side. So this means I'm going to use the tangent function. The tangent of the angle, which we don't know what it is, equals to the opposite over the adjacent. So you set up the initial problem like you always do, and the next step when you're trying to find an angle is, instead of cross multiplying and solving, these are, you can't really take these apart. So what you're going to do to find x is you're going to do the inverse function. And so the inverse function looks like this, tangent to the -1. And you're going to do the inverse function of the ratio, and this will equal your angle measure. So when you're finding the angle, you're doing the opposite of normal, do the inverse function. So you push the function button, and the inverse next to tangent has the tan -1, and then 15 divided by 7. So the angle is like 64.9831, and they usually want with angles the nearest degree, so it's going to be 65 degrees. So the measure of angle M is 65 degrees. Here's another example. We're going to find angle U. Here's angle U. In relation to angle U, this is the opposite, and this is the hypotenuse. So some old horse caught another horse, taking oats away. O and H, going to use sine. Sine of angle U, opposite, over hypotenuse. You're going to do the inverse sine of 19 over 28, and that will give you U. So you're going to type function, inverse sine, 19 divided by 28, 43. So the measure of angle U is 43 degrees. So one of my favorite things to do with trig because it's just so easy to do. So again, make sure when you're in Desmos that you're in degree mode. To check that, you touch the wrench and you make sure that degrees is dark green. To switch back and forth, you just tap them. So make sure it's on degrees.